slightly, and we wait. But what a lovely spot to wait in. Lost among the reeds with our newfound friend. What a gorgeous experience. First contact with our slender love has been. Now this guy, I'm not sure what to do. For now, I'm just going to enjoy the snowfall and allow him to live out his, let's be honest, last moments of freedom and relative peace. I'm going to check once more if there's anything else we can say.
Hissing and clicking, the arthropod extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you again. You're right below it, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. Its small eyes look at nothing in particular.
Oh, I missed these gorgeous descriptions. Alright. So the only thing I can do is have Kim take photographic evidence of its existence, which, as I've thought about it, is like desperately important to Lena. But I also believe that she would trust me when I recount the tale to her, possibly via letter, that I did in fact see it and she was right. But I'm wondering if, like, having photographic evidence is the only way to bring her some sort of closure. But at this point, regrettably, the safety of the Insulindian phasmid is my priority. And I don't regret it at all. I'm not sure why I phrased it that way. So we're not going to take a picture, still. But maybe that's a huge mistake. I love you! Thank you for speaking with me.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
All right. That was my final opportunity. And so it skitters off back into the ether.
Just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
Prezzies? For me? For moi? It is so nice to see you guys there. Peter, love, we're approaching 4 years. Thank you for bringing me along so many times. Thank you for joining me on your 43-month streak. I can't imagine what you would have been able to accomplish in that time. Cures for various diseases. But instead, you've hung out with me, and I think you've made the right choice. I think you've made the right choice. It is so nice to see you guys there. You've been streaking for so long. Howdy, howdy. Dave! It is nice to see all of you. Thank you for joining me here in the wintry wastes. Alright, what did the phasmid leave me? What do I perceive?
It's gone.
The lieutenant looks north with the camera uselessly hanging from his fingers. I still feel like it was the right thing to do. Now, don't blame him for this. You didn't get the picture. Like, no, you, Harry, did not get the picture. What's that in the reeds? Presumably about Maprezzi's. But also, it can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
He shakes his head with amazement. And you take the opportunity while he's gently turned away to plant a wet smooch upon his chiseled cheekbone. So what's that, in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
All right, what now?
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He puts his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black. I think we could have seen that coming. I think we could have surmised that about the ash without just stuffing your fingies into it, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll get you a wet wipe.
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
I suppose, now that our friend has skittered off, perhaps, the old man's mental state will be a bit clearer. Or maybe he'll just be even more... what's the word? Out of his gourd. Now, hold on to your gourd.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. He needs a wet wipe. But first, Percy's. What we get? A rifle scope. Ah, I was looking for that scope. And presumably the ceramic helmet of the deceased. Sounds like an enchanted item. Show me. Show me more. Alright. This monstrous-looking, bug-eyed ceramic helmet was in the phasmid's nest. It still has some reeds sticking out of it, and it smells of seawater, but it's otherwise wearable, if not exactly comfortable. Putting it on feels scary somehow. Increases your half-light, but removes your suggestion, as you are no longer a lover. Alright, and the rifle scope, all amacht, with goosh and seaweeds. What was this? Ah, yes, the rifle we took from him. The bolt-action 4.46 caliber Triangong is the poor man's sniper rifle. While not the most reliable of firearms, it is relatively precise due to a very manageable recoil, thus allowing the shooter to take multiple consecutive... consecutive? Is that how that's spelled? We'll figure it out. Consecutive shots fast. This particular piece is missing a scope, though. Or is it? A common 30mm sniper scope attachable to almost any bolt-action 4.46 caliber. It uses an older-style non-dotted range-finding reticle. Seaweed and gugh is still stuck on the lens, and it suffered water damage from its time in the phasmid's dowry. Oh, what a wonderful way to describe that. So can I combine these things? Or do I not want to gugh the rifle? Is that my hesitance? Okay. I guess we can confront him about it now, with all the evidence in our possession. Giving it a quick save. Old man, hate to trouble you, but it's time to clap you in irons.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Not your cheeks, though. I want to clarify. I'm not going to clap your cheeks in irons. I'm not going to do that.
Something is very wrong with him now.
I was worried about this. Sir, how could you not see the phasmid? Presumably due to a toxic cocktail of pheromones that he's been ingesting for the past 46 years.
See.
He stares at the reeds and falls silent.
Mr. Doras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets, his gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing.
I too long for the return of the Insulindian phasmid. Don't snap your fingers under his nose. He's not a motion-detecting sensor in a bathroom at a restaurant. Wave your hand in front of his eyes, or touch his shoulder gently. That sounds nice. May I touch your shoulder gently, sir?
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
I mean, clearly, over the last 46 years or so, he's harbored a great deal of unnecessary hate in his tiny little heart. And he has, in fact, murdered a man, and just been kind of creepy. He's been a bit of a creep. So it's like he's clearly bound for jail. That's what's going to happen here. But I feel so bad for him at the same time. He's lived on this just devastated island, eating who knows what, primarily dirt, I assume, for decades, just hating and hating, like the Grinch perched atop a mountain. And now he's all confused because the phasmid is gone and he's riddled with toxic cocktail, and I want to hug him close and give him some soup. But no, we gotta clap his cheeks in irons, which I promised not to do.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
Good. I'm so glad you have that thought, Kim. I was thinking the same thing. Then it's cheek-clapping time. What has happened to this man, just in your words, Kim?
Old age and shock.
He looks at him, and then at you. Oh yes, old age and shock, yes. I also don't necessarily want to, if we put it in the official report that he's not just old and in shock, but was, in fact, being mind-controlled to a certain extent. Then there's, official evidence of the phasmid's existence, and people are going to wonder, there's going to be court cases down the line. The phasmid made me do it, and it's all very complex from that point. But if we just keep it simple in our report, a.k.a. lie, maybe that's better? Maybe that's better. So I'm not sure on this one. However, to continue discussing the phasmid and therefore keep it in our hearts and minds, I'll go phasmid. I do think the phasmid had something to do with it.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke. Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reads for him. Before, when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated. Could it be there's something hormonal in his relationship to the phasmid? I talked to the phasmid. It said that it's destroying him. He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company? Start at the top. He couldn't see
It
it.
could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross,
He touches the man's shoulder. We're all about touching shoulders around here.
No response.
Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden for all these years.
then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget that it's there.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds?
The old man stutters, as I'm sure you heard.
The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Before, when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated. That's the weird part about all of this for me, too. It's like the phasmid said, I've just been keeping him from seeing me. And I'd like to believe the phasmid that it would be truthful with me because it loves me deeply. But it's also seemingly controlling him in some way. It was making him, twitch and... So there's an outstanding question here.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Perhaps this animation is induced by something in the phasmid? 'Cause the other thing the phasmid also said was, like, it just can't help it. It's a matter of proximity. This is where the phasmid currently lives, and the man was here, and they should not have met, but they did. So it's not like it was intentionally controlling him. But perhaps it is induced by something in the phasmid.
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive.
Speaking of psychoactive, I mean, we've had a whole range of experiences in this buddy comedy here, but I don't believe you and I have ever gotten super stoned together, Lieutenant Kim. Would you like to? Would you like to before we return to the shore?
I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
Perfect. I mean, why not? Kim takes off his glasses and cleans them. When he puts them back on, he's still staring at the sea. What do you see, Kim? Could it be that there is something hormonal in his relationship to the phasmid?
You mean pheromonal?
Yes, that is exactly what I mean. You know, he seemed a little off for a man his age, a little randy, if I'm being honest. He seemed quite randy.
The scope, knowing of her bruises, his disposition toward Miss Orania. I see what you mean.
And I talked to the phasmid, and it said that it's destroying him. And it seemed to be filled with regret.
You should be more careful, Detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
I mean, yeah, that could also be psychoactive, but it sounded so cute in my mind. Maybe. Anyway, it's only trying to remain unseen. The degradation is a side effect, yes.
A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, Detective.
Never. I will approach every unknown species I find with confidence and friendship. He's been here for a long time, and who knows how much of it in its company.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe.
He looks at his notebook.
I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. They'll think we're insane.
Yeah, about that report, should we engage in a sexy little cover-up? You and I? We found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross. Some sticky things.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Show him the ceramic helmet.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
That sounds like a small improvement. I mean, the catatonia is upsetting, but the rage has left his bones. I say mission accomplished.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would pull it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
How heavy is a ceramic helmet, though? That it washed along with the tides? I would think thonk straight to the bottom, but okay. Maybe I have not experienced ceramics enough in my life. Show him the detached scope.
I lost.
You lost it, Mr. Dross, didn't you? You killed those children. Wait, what children? My God, Mr. Dross, why?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
I love them.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid.
The lieutenant observes the lens sparkle in your hand, and frankly, you're just glad he's finally looking, as he spent so much time carefully curating your cuticles for him, and he never seemed to notice until now.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh.
We're going to note down that it was. We're just going to make assumptions here.
You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
All right. I'm going to let you rest now, Mr. Dross. We're going to go back for medical help, and when we get back, well, prepare your cheeks.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched, and his mouth open.
I mean, I don't want to take advantage of this man, but his mouth is open. Should we maybe just slip the soup? Slip the soup right in. He needs his nutrients is all.
The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
Feeling a little called out. Okay, hang tight. Hang tight, my sweet.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
And we will not. We'll be right back after these messages. Okay, nothing else to grab in the immediate area. I am having a thought. The air smells sweet and scary somehow. How do you smell scary? Oh, the pheromones. Sure. This little tire raft that he uses to get to the mainland. I'm assuming it is wilted and useless. Much like my old bones in this tracksuit. So in we go. Get back to our boat. See if we can get him some medical help. And return. Is there anyone else left alive in the entire sequence of things that's going to, like, ambush us? Or make this difficult? There's my team from Precinct 40-something. It should be officially what it's called. All washed-up, middle-aged detectives. But they seem to have gone back to Jamrock, if memory serves. I think we can just leave. I'm wondering if there's anything else on the island of import, but I know we searched it pretty thoroughly. I'm not going to worry about it for now.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
When we get back to the mainland, who are we going to ask for medical help? I guess we can just call the police on Kim's motor carriage phone? And they will deal with it? Send some sort of delightfully steampunky ambulance our way? Let's return.
Let's. We are done here.
He adjusts his glasses as he looks out over the water, and you wish he would return his gaze to your cuticles, but he does not.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet.
Did I hold the boombox over my head again? Please tell me I held the boombox.
But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you.
Is there? That's exactly what I feared. Oh, I was so afeared of this.
2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm.
Unlike your spirit.
You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Alright, save it before we die. This is definitely some sort of execution squad. But if it's Joyce, I'll be overjoiced. This looks like my team. Looks like my team from Jamrock. Oh no. The man says, excuse me. Got all mixed up. Says the man, without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes, and he tilts his head like a goose.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Yeah, no thanks to you.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with sunglasses from the whirling in rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Hey, wait! Where are your sunglasses? No one else seems bothered by the bleeding. Who are you people? We'll recognize him, sure. Hey, you're the man with sunglasses and a lovely wig, if I may say.
That's right. And you're bleeding.
Mm-hmm. So... I'm not going to mention the phasmid to these people. Ugh. No one else seems bothered by me bleeding, so what gives?
Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant.
Yeah, my liver is savaged and failing. Oh, you mean for my blood? I don't know.
Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Thank you. Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstam. I believe we've met on several occasions.
We have with your little sailor boy son up at Feld Electrical. What are you doing here? How are you involved in this? I am aghast, sir. Please leave.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Quemar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heidelstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
Hi, Judy.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
I'm doing just fine. I can still ambulate, gorgeously. So, you may go. You may go back to headquarters. Thank you, Jean.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence. That's the ticket, Kim. You are in charge here.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
Hey, he can be both. He can be both.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
If there was an angle of like, no, you're my partner now, and we'll work together against these, that's fine. But this is more of a like, no, you're abandoning me, and that's not what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Lieutenant. We'll be professional about it, and keep him out of this. I mean, that's fine. Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
She says warmly, flashing the lieutenant the tiniest of smiles. Oh, you could barely even see it.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
It's true. It is true. So what is this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science.
Okay. Go on.
My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
And that would be for the best, Trant. Thank you for your time. No, please, by all means, what have you to tell me about my neurology? And how well I've structured it inside my thought cabinet?
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What a weird thing to call me.
Shit, kid. What an interesting moniker.
Yeah. I was just thinking conceptualization. What is a shit kid? What do you mean by that? How did you know I was here? You aren't the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde. So, Trant Heidelstam turns out to be Special Consultant Tramp Heidelstam. Well, I'll be damned. Duped again? No one is who they say they are. You mentioned a task force. Let's start here. Task force?
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring bells.
Nope. Nope, not at all, but yeah, I get it. Who else is in this, though? Or who else was before they were shot in the knees?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trent fucking Heidelstam, and Guillaume Baby.
Guillaume isn't like the other old man in the park, is it? He did mention once in the long ago that he was like an informant for Everard? But is he also an informant for me? That's strange. Okay.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit.
I guess we have that in common.
Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay.
Alright, first things first, you shouldn't be forcing Trant to do anything. That's not... If you're the type of person that goes around forcing people to do things, I'll shoot you dead right here in the fishing village. So, what does this unit do?
It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair assessment. I couldn't even remember what precinct I was from until you just said it right now.
The 41st isn't...
He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. Thank you for that, Kim. Thank you for not finishing that sentence. Where have you been all this time when I was getting shot, when we were in danger? You left. You abandoned us. Have you no decency?
Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember.
He crosses his arms.
You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
Yeah, that sounds like me. All will burn, Satellite Officer Wichmeyer. Make no mistake about it. So why didn't you detect or die then? Hmm? Why would you leave a literal police guard? Don't you want to learn from me and my superstar skills? I said all those things? Yeah, I'm not like that anymore.
Yes, you're sorry. You're the sorriest cop who ever lived. Nothing has changed, Harry. I've heard this repentance shit 1,000,000 times over.
Yep, that's me. The sorriest cop who ever lived. Alright, I still gotta pick some of these options. How did you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
Gart. Turn to face the general direction of the whirling and yell, "Damn you, cafeteria manager! You have betrayed me for the last time." I mean, my relationship with Gart has always been quite strained, so I don't expect much from him. I saved his establishment and still he betrays me. Okay, I understand. Gart told you.
And people on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk.
I take some small measure of pride in that. So, Trent Heidelstrom, you are a special consultant, are you? I don't know if I am talking like this now, but it's true that I am, and I have fond memories of you and our talks together with your little sailor boy.
Yes, I'm Trant Heilestam. I never said I wasn't Trant Heilestam.
Was that your kid, or did you rent a young boy in a sailor outfit? Was he wearing the sailor outfit before you rented him, or did you rent him and then force him into a... Never mind. I don't think I want to know the answer to these questions. What was up with the kid?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
Oh, thank God. Ooh. Oh, yeah. What was up with all the interesting history? Spying on me? I'd like to ask the first part of that question, but not... I mean, it's fine if he was spying on me. Thank you for the interesting history. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No problem.
So, what are you special consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
please diagnose me. What happened before all of this? Is it related to the Pale? Or am I just very sick?
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on.
Alright. None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Would you like to shine a flashlight in my eyes? I've been doing that to everybody I've seen. I've diagnosed so much brain damage. Or lack thereof. You could also hold your finger out in front of me and I'll follow it without moving my head. If that be of interest to you.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, Pal, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
I appreciate that you don't want to be a snitch. Thank you for phrasing it that way.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Wait, socioeconomically, you think I'm so poor I lost my memory? It's a strong theory, really. I drank so much that I lost my memory, and now I'm slowly recovering it. Well, I made it all up. It was a fantasy, a stupid joke. I know what I am. This sort of line of dialogue is very interesting to me. You had one other opportunity in the past to say, like, no, I was kidding the whole time. I don't have amnesia. And it's like, if you pick that, does that make it true? Or is he being sarcastic, like, to avoid consequences, effectively? Like, oh no, I made it all up. I know everything. Don't fire me. Because it would be so interesting to actually have a whole playthrough where you play from that perspective. That you are lying to everyone. That you have amnesia as like an investigative technique. Like you have to give me more information about the case because I'm just a poor little lost lamb with amnesia. It's like, I kind of like that. That adds such an interesting spin to it. Alright, option number 4. It might have something to do with an anomaly in the church. A 2-millimeter hole in the world. I am a highly experimental detective, and this was a method that I used to solve the case. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism. I like that one. It leaves it vague, makes me a sad, sorry cop, which I appreciate. I also really wanted to be related to the Pale. I want my memories to have gone the same way as the game development company's hard drives. And the thought in my thought cabinet of, like, the... what's it called? Motorway South? Kind of seems to imply that I remember some things up to a certain point where I interacted with the Pale, and then it was all wiped from me. So if indeed I have the ability with my dialogue choice here to influence what did happen to me in actual fact, I would want it to be because of the Pale. So I'm going to go with number 4.
Corresponding to the 20-centimeter hole in your brain. Sure. This theory has great symmetry. I see how it folds into itself neatly.
Like a mega-rich light-bending guy, yes.
Precisely, Satellite Officer Vicmere. It's Martinez.
Hey, take this seriously. I suspect there might be something wrong with Martinez. Look, I'll explain later, but there's another man who's lost his memory. A crab man, he's skittering around in the rafters. I'll introduce you, just be forewarned, he is not wearing any pants. I knew that you would be too closed-minded to understand the anomaly. I'm going gonna take charge here. You guys take this seriously. We have 7 sisters, and they're all threatening the stability of Martinez. I need you to set up a task force, check all of them. If there are any crab men, you give them some soup, and leave them alone.
This sounds odd, but I was there. The church on the coast was shaking from an audio-spatial anomaly. It may have been anthroponetic or perhaps related to radio waves.
Or maybe it was anotic. Hello there, it is so nice to see you guys. How are we all doing today? I am doing better than ever, if I'm being honest with you. Now that you're all here and we're playing Disco Elysium, better than ever. Sorry, Kim. Sorry to interrupt.
Either way, it was real. I've even put it in my report. You should read it. I do not, however, think it has anything to do with him drinking himself to the point of brain damage.
Kim, you're compromising my theory. But I still love you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Just to clarify, I do not think his other anthroponetics are a hoax. Pale produces global phenomena. It's proven. However, what has not been proven is total memory loss after drinking too much Commodore Red. Honestly, I think he's just lying to us.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the 2 drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
What mural was this?
The 2 cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the Next World mural. Those were recent.
You're right, reaction speed.
Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here.
He gestures toward the scenery, which is gorgeous.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for its end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
Yeah, you could say I'm a cretin now, sure. That seems accurate.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
I am ready to lead again. I've remembered several words and a place. So put me in charge. Line detective is good for now. No, not under you, Jean. He's wrong. I'm too far gone for work. Fuck all of you. I don't want to be in your unit. I don't know. If this is like setting up my future as a detective in the Martinez area, River Shoal area, what I would like is for both Kim and I to gently take hands and run away together into the night to start a private detective agency without having to deal with all this bureaucratic nonsense. That would be ideal. So if I'm ready to lead again, perhaps I'll be in a position to start that later? Headcanon. We're definitely starting that later. I do also like the sad sorry cop route of, no, I'm too far gone for work. Leave me in a snowdrift. I'm ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that. I misphrased my question.
I did.
It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
I mean, technically I can use the potty. I'm working on the clothes, but could I have that disability pension anyway? I have $18 and I'm living literally in this shack right here. So if you could throw me on that pension, that'd be great.
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Okay. Just stand there.
Yeah. Just stand there. It's cool.
Wait, what are we waiting for? Are you trying to trap me? Are you trying to entrap me? Really? We're just gonna stand here?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Wait, what? It's in the ocean? Oh no, what happened? Oh, I can't. We've put it in our report that we've retrieved my badge from the motor carriage. I can't feign ignorance now. It was stolen by a naughty teenager. That wasn't me. Stolen by traffic hooligans. Yeah, that's what I meant. I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk. I thought that the killer would be underwater, but he wasn't. Ah, tequila sunset. I also jumped the canal, by the way. I don't know what it's doing there. To the best of my knowledge, I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk. I was also sort of screaming and waving my gun around, so yeah.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip.
You're welcome? Oh no, you're being sarcastic. Sorry. You're not welcome.
It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
I got my badge right here. Is this one of those classic cop situations where you're like, give me your badge? Oh, or are you just making sure I have it? I do have it right here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
Oh, it's a good thing I'm not standing too near the water. Catch it? 42%. I did not catch it.
You juggle the badge for a second, unsuccessfully, and it lands on the ground, some 2 meters away.
There it is. See? Told you.
Ouch! You strained your elbow trying to catch that stupid thing. Damn it.
My elbow!
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
Yeah. Thanks, Judy.
And your gun?
The man stares at you unimpressed by your juggling act.
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements.
Given how I just handled my badge, everyone might want to step back a bit when I pull this gun out. I upgraded my gun to a rifle. No, that's evidence. Don't do that. Gun? Gun? Gun. Gun. Gun? Gun. Wait, how did you know I lost my gun? It's really not important. Alright, everyone stand back. My gun is right here.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I had it away before you demanded to see it. I'm not drunk, though. I haven't started drinking again. Not since the accident. It doesn't even matter that I found my gun? This is important to mention. I haven't started drinking again.
So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then?
Mostly because I've been scavenging all of these clothes off of corpses. And I'm carrying all of them in some sort of a special, like, unlimited knapsack. And the cumulative effect is strong.
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Don't tell them that. We promised we'd keep that secret, Kim. I've no idea what you're smelling. I washed the death off of me. Yeah, I've handled an actual corpse. It's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry I smell bad. I'm sorry, cop, that I smell bad. None of this matters. My odor situation, it's meaningless compared to what I've discovered. There are worlds beyond worlds, 350-year-old stick bugs. But you're not cool enough to know about any of that, so I'm taking it to the grave with me. Yeah, I'm sorry, I smell bad.
A bit of a wig? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
I assessed her flight risk and found her tolerable in the world. And thus, I let her leave. Is that not cool? I thought you guys would think that was cool.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Glacia, she was some kind of spy from the Occident, specially trained. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led us to the island. Yeah, okay, I got duped there. She pulled one on me. Yes, I let her go as an act of mercy. That's a little bit self-serving, but it is closest to the truth. That's just a small detail in a huge case you know nothing about. That doesn't matter. None of it does. We are looking at the oxygen holocaust times a quadrillion. I have come to know the final fate of man and the universe. So dramatic. Do you think some, frankly, quite bitter and mean professional detectives will appreciate me letting her go as an act of mercy? I don't think they will. They might appreciate this more, that she gave us a vital clue that led us to the island. And I don't know if she was a spy. Like a corporate spy, sure. But I don't know if she was specially trained. Maybe I'm forgetting the conversation we had. So we either let her go because it was the right thing to do, or as an act of mercy. Because it was the right thing to do sounds less me, so let's go here.
Oh well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby something.
I'd like to see you try to drag someone into the police station under the sort of stress I was under. There was a device causing me an inordinate amount of pain, and I want to use it on you now.
Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote.
Glad you think so. Let's forget about it then.
Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
You're hurting me. Stop it. Stop what you're saying. Oh, go on.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
So sorry, catching up to the chat here. If I can activate my mouse. Squeak, squeak. Oh no. You're having a little trouble with the ticker. I'm so sorry to hear it. I hope that it calms itself until you can contact the authorities. Not that that will be helpful. Hello, hello. Nice to see you there. I'm so glad to share this morning with you guys. All right. Thank you for defending me, Kim. That's incredibly kind of you. And also, probably, professionally, not the right move. To hitch your wagon to me, as the cowboys would say. I also solved the case. It's solved. All of it. I mean, kind of. We've answered a lot of questions. Yeah, it was a massacre. We got wiped, and where the hell were you? The firefight is a trivial matter compared to the greatest discovery of this century. I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry, cop. Particularly Jean-Vic Maire does not seem to appreciate me being sorry cop, so it's probably not a good idea. If this is a little carrot to dangle in front of their hungry noses, chomp chomp, then maybe we should go this way? I don't really want to put Kim anymore in the firing line. But it was very sweet of him. I solved the case.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. You do have all the notes.
It's so much better if he does this. 1,000,000 times better.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He brushes a stray strand of hair out of his eye, and for a second the camera goes all like slow-mo and like some romantic piano music starts up. But then he coughs and kind of ruins it.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
Oh, that's very sweet of you to notice.
See?
1 week.
It's been 8 days, technically, if we're being technical about it.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer.
That's fair.
It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
Since we, work for the ruling class, but it's hardly important.
You should yell something.
I am a policeman of the state to come. That's not a good idea. We'll just keep a lid on it for now.
Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
Oh, rhetoric. You took a little swipe at me there. Don't think I didn't notice.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I have seen, in fact.
Don't you start, Kim. Don't you? You're gonna make me all teary-eyed.
He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you for being there for me.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation.
And also medical attention, which you guys are actively stopping us from going to get. So...
He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
Yeah. Have any of you guys discovered a new species? But no, don't tell them about it, Kim. Don't tell them about it.
A new species?
Mm-hmm.
A colossal stick insect, 3 meters tall. It's on the island, camouflage as the reeds. It unfolded from them. I did not, unfortunately, get a photo, but I believe it may have been the Insulindian phasmid.
Probably shouldn't have mentioned it at all, since we intentionally did not get photographic evidence of this. And now we kind of just both sound crazy, but we know we're not. We know. And from the rest of our lives in a padded cell side by side, we'll know. We'll know. ...
I know this sounds fantastic, but I'm a 4 times decorated lieutenant of the RCM. I do not make up encounters with cryptids to spice up my day. I am very, very sane.
Sometimes I feel like he might be too sane, but that's what we love about him.
I don't doubt you, Lieutenant. If you say it was the Insulindian phasmid, then it was the Insulindian phasmid.
Boom shakalaka. It's incredible, but it was real. So, as you can see, I am a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist. Again, I don't want to mention the Insulindian phasmid wherever possible. I don't want this to turn into a whole King Kong situation. Because of the goddamn ruling class, I say nothing.
By God. Is it somehow connected to the case?
Yep. Oh, it sure is.
Detective?
Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I believe that the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation. But also a boom, boom, boom.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance.
Bye for now.
He
Thank you
became
for
near
stopping by.
catatonic.
It's nice to see you. You just proudly showed your colleagues. Is that a gritty carrot or a girthy carrot? Or perhaps both. A clever combination of the two. You're banned from eating them at work now. Because they're too gritty. I see. Sorry, Kim. I was thinking about girthy carrots. Continue.
So it is connected.
We could order a search. I could get people from EPIS on the island, entomologists, doctors. There must be signs of it in the reeds. If we found the Insulindian phasmid, well, that would be absolutely exceptional. The PR value alone.
That's exactly what I didn't want, Trant. That's why we didn't take a picture of it. You leave that gorgeous creature in peace. Because you know that it's going to get hurt and or have to defend itself by unleashing some sort of pheromone cloud that turns us all into rabid killers. And we'll turn on each other and just eat and eat away at each other's thigh meat. And you know, it sounding pretty hot, actually. Should we do it? Wanna go to the island right now?
There, you need to make your case now. The floor is all yours. He prepared it well.
And we're about to destroy the foundation, because I also started a nightclub in a church. Also, the phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest. Not really important. The killer, Lilianovich Dross. We have a strong motive for him, and he is filled with hate. Hate in his bones. The previous head of the Debardur Union was assassinated by our killer. There was also a dead man on the boardwalk. Just a missing person that I found. He slipped. Not important. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area, and I confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad. So, what do you say? You want to take all this hot shit back? Accept me. Some of these things are better for my case than others, but I kind of want to mention all of them. Let's say, first, the killer, Mr. Dross. We have a strong motive for him.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary matronym?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian, his Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
It was noteworthy, Trant. Don't let Jean get you down. He's just got a Celindian phasmid up his butt. He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy. He killed the mercenary hoping to start a war between the company and the Union. He killed him in an act of rage induced by the phasmid's semiochemicals. Actually, I'm not sure if I have a motive. I had another thing, though. I mean, this is the motive as I remember it. I don't think he really cared about a war between the company and the Union. He's just spying on people being a little creeper. And killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
And one of them very competent.
It's a clean win.
Thanks, Judy.
Oh, it's way more than that. way more.
It's more than that. It's a perfect folding mechanism, like the phasmid. It's way more than that. I will win her back with this. No, you promised the phasmid that you would let it go. You promised that you would forgive yourself and move on. It is my masterpiece. They will teach this in cop school. I did all I could. And to be honest with you, every second of it was a struggle. I'm still not completely satisfied with it. It could be just a little neater. Is that a hint? A hint for playthrough 2? This is too grandiose, but I don't quite know what he means by this. But it is more than that. It's a perfect folding mechanism.
Perfect folding mechanism? Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
That's just the smell of Martinez. You'll get used to it.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. Like in your bones or something.
It's been 8 days, but it's still in my bones.
It will pass. In time.
So I also started a nightclub in the church, and then I got together with Edward Norton, and I started a fight club. It was pretty cool. Not really important. The previous head of the Debardeur Union was assassinated by our killer. Did we confirm that? I know he mentioned that Everard had someone killed, and that then they took control immediately afterwards. I don't think he ever specifically said who it was that he assassinated, but this is like a strong leap to make. Or a good one. And it will give me brownie points. Let's do it.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Martinez, where Everard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little, and thank you for being so professional. That's a very good point. We're probably already in danger.
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed.
The island?
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
It'd be as big as his desk.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice, Trant? Wouldn't it be nice if we could all have political neutrality? So there's some other things that are relatively police-related, like confiscating drugs. There was a dead man on the boardwalk. They aren't important to the main case at hand, but if I'm trying to save my reputation, we should mention them. I don't think these would be tremendously helpful for my reputation. There was a dead man on the boardwalk.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How did you know?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
Thank you for that, Judy.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
Thank you. Was that so hard, Jean? Alright, I confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad. I still have them, if you'd like a taste.
Who's Kuno?
You don't know who Kuno is? And you call yourself a detective.
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I'm in. At this point, anything is but the drink.
I did not snort the drugs. They are in my inventory. And if you don't mind taking a peek at my thick, throbbing flashlight, you're welcome to check for yourself. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area. I don't think they're gonna care much about that. What do you say? You want to take this hot shit back? I kind of just want to pick all of the other options. I mean, it's not like it can get worse. Especially not with how bitter Jean is with his bitter little mustache. So I started a nightclub in a church.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church.
Yeah. I reinvigorated the local nightlife, you know? I did some kids a solid, turned their lives around, and I discovered a hitherto unexplored anthropogenical phenomenon in there. A 2-millimeter hole in the world, which I mentioned earlier. He does not seem impressed with that. Nor would he be impressed that I reinvigorated the local nightlife, but I did some kids a solid. I really helped these kids out, and I taught them the magic of dance. It was like a feel-good comedy.
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was abandoned, so he put them in there. It's okay.
That's a really nice way of saying it, Kim. Thank you.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject now.
Fair enough. The Phasma... I don't want to, mess it up. If I have to just go now while they're somewhat impressed. I don't want to mess it up, but I like this whole recap of the events of my life thus far. I'm going for it. Damn the consequences. If they don't take me back, well, I didn't want to work with them anyway. So the Phasmid was female, and the reeds are its nest. If you are curious, Trant will appreciate this.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
He's just desperately trying to get me to not say that I spoke out loud in English to the stick bug. He really wants me not to say that.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
No, but there was a sniper scope. Get over here, Trant. I'll show it to you. It's very sticky.
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It had gathered items in its nest, a helmet, and a scope.
Actually, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
Nobody's gonna attract a mate with this ugly-ass helmet, but yeah, you could have a point. It could have been male. It had a very sweet little voice. It could have been a cute little boy voice. Yeah.
It must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs.
He trails off, lost in thought. I knew you would appreciate this, Trant. It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside. And it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
It told me out loud in English, but oh, Kim, you tried. From observing it, from observing it, I think.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
Ah, solid point.
That makes sense. Yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
I hope so. Trant, I'm trusting you with this. You can serve my love. So, the mandibles, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored. Beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
And it was very, very cute.
Incredible. It's a toughie that you don't have a photo. This would look very, very flashy in the papers. None of it says vigilante murderers to me at all. Great PR.
Well, that would have been nice. Would have been nice if we could limit the local gossip that we are vigilante murderers.
I tried
Oh
to,
well.
but I only got a blur.
Ouch.
Ouch? Is that Kim? Kim feeling ouch? Who am I empathizing with?
We can still work. Cop discovers new species in there. I know a good guy in La Majeste, but only after the École Supérieure people find it. This cannot be done by French people.
What did you call me?
It needs to be white
that's
coats
fine.
and glassware for this fly. We need professionals.
It's not a fly, Jean. It's...
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still.
I really did like the Phasmid line. Good. So did I. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area, but you're probably going to think that this is largely unimportant to the police work.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is.
Rue des Anges Lane 10. A commercial building where all businesses go bankrupt. I looked into it, casually. The curse turned out to be possibly entreprenetical, part of my larger investigation into Martinez itself. That sounds... professional? Sure.
No, it didn't. It didn't turn out to be entreprenetical again. Enough with the salary pay 2mm hole in the world line. This isn't Paradox B. We're a police force.
But we could be Paradox B. The truth is out there, Jean.
Paradox B is a fringe science magazine published in Grad. Its mission is to explain theories like telekinesis and intra-isolary power before they get out of hand.
I think they've already gone out of hand. But, yeah. I mean, we're all gonna die. While we're on the subject, if you guys want to know, where the world is being consumed, the Phasmid told me, aloud in English, that...
It doesn't look like the lieutenant wishes you to push this angle further.
No, it sure does not.
Cut it out is indeed what he is thinking.
Alright, so what do you say? You want to take all this back to the Force with you?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
He shrugs. I'm not sure what that means.
So I have to. Jude,
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Wait, I'm on trial right now? Is this a trial?
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
Wait, I have a few questions about, before we go, about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently.
I know you long for the West. You sang that whole Santa Fe number about it, but just hold your horses, John.
Jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who am I? Why am I like this? Am I a dirty cop? Precinct 41, what kind of station is it? The Phasmid, I need to tell Lena. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now? This is probably the most important question. What will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Do you want to do that at Station 41? With me?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant, come work in Precinct 41 with me, desk to desk, so that we can stare into each other's eyes.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit in. And crazy enough, can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence.
I don't want to add more stress to his life. He had a good thing going before he met me.
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
We've got piles, Lieutenant.
I do like the sound of that.
Ooh, I just got an achievement. Recruit Kim Kitsuragi. Yes. Precinct 57's finest.
He's really considering it.
Thank you. Thank you for even considering it. Okay, so who am I? Before we get into that, can somebody contact Lena? She needs to know.
Who is Lena?
It's not your business, Jean. I'm talking to Trant and Judy.
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock. Remember?
Thanks, Encyclopedia. Appreciate you being there for me. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this phasmid and deserves all the credit.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
She looks at Vicmer.
Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway.
Damn right you are.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible, even if we didn't get a photo.
She is going to be over the moon. Watch out, or she'll faint.
That's okay. She's already sitting down. I am curious. Precinct 41. What kind of station is it, Kim?
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard?
That's our station.
We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
If I had known I was going to have to talk to Jean for that question, I would have thought twice.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
He tilts his head northward as if to say, go get ice cream after this? I'm pretty sure I'm reading the room, right?
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Torsen and McLean, those clowns? I don't remember who they are, but I'm assuming.
Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic though, Torsen and McLean.
An iconic duo, I take it?
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage.
And the Sea Wing is?
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
Wait, what are we punching? Oh, clocks. Phew. Good, good.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
You're not a loser, Trant. Your little boy in the sailor outfit, he could... Just take him out of the sailor outfit is all I'm saying. He's not a loser, like at the core of the person who he is at his very being. But the sailor outfit is not helping things. He's gonna get bullied, and you just need to buy him a blazer, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a fashion expert.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
And this, Captain Price.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
Did we, how do I say this? Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance?
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
I bet you were, Trent. What happened? Why did we need to go there?
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Oh, that's fair. Alright, so I work in the Bloody Murder Station. Got it.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Frankly, it sounds gorgeous. Like, can we go there now? Can we go to the coffee corner now?
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershall. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
Okay, now the question's about me. Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
Well, that explains the smell. What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
But, before
you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
That does explain a lot. No way, I was a flagellant monk. A guerrilla soldier / gym teacher. I'm not sure why that would explain a lot, considering the general state of my body is quite poor. I was able to lift a thing once, and that's it. That is in terms of physical feats. I mean, I have 2 of them, but in terms of physical feats, that's all I've ever performed. This one seems more interesting. A guerrilla soldier / gym teacher.
no, a regular one.
Okay. That does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
The fine collection of fawn sportswear I've amassed.
The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is, and your moves on the church floor, which honestly were just jump aerobics.
Okay. You got me.
The raw, robust stamina output. Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy.
Oh god. Contact Mike.
Of course. Contact Mike.
That's why it was important. It makes so much sense now.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy.
Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition, a 5,000 to 1 rank outsider. When was this? When was I a gym teacher? You said in Coron. I was a gym teacher there. Why did I join the RCM then? Let's get Contact Mike out of the way.
Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege?
You know, he sure does. You're damn straight.
It is getting cold out.
I'm sorry, Judy. She looks around at the dilapidated fishing village. I just have, let's say, 22 more questions to ask, and then we'll get you somewhere warm, Judy. I'm sorry. When was this? When was I a gym teacher?
In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
He looks you over. He is not impressed. I was a gym teacher in Quran.
Yes, you taught gym in school. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue, the worn floorboards. Kuro is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
That's why I'm such a delinquent. Why did I join the RCM then?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
Don't call Abigail, but do contact Mike.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
You know, we promised the Phasmid we would move on. Don't think of her. Don't think of her. Okay, I see now.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Kim is so happy at this revelation. So why am I, like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
That sounds like a rude way of putting it. I bet it's more complex than that, Jean.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Who?
Dora something. Dora England. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Wait, Dora England.
Something like that. Half Vazan.
Vasa is where beautifully and impossibly blonde people come from.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this? I promised the Phasmid, but when was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time.
This will be part of the process of following the Phasmid's wishes. I'll acknowledge it, and then I'll move on.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Okay, now 6 years is not that much, to be honest. 6 years?
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one.
I was noticing that in the shower earlier. I have a very big one. Wait, no, not like that. Not what you're thinking. I mean the one that I got torn. Never mind. Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
How dare you, sir? You cretin. No, I meant like what did she do?
She was incredibly fuckable. A
Come
beautiful
on.
bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
This is not appropriate workplace discussion, Jean. Nor is it appropriate discussion elsewhere.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin. Pain Welkin.
Yeah, everyone's getting in on it.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I know you are freezing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for this.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing.
Wait, she taught in the Académie des Arts? Was that the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center?
My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
Hey, Trant. Okay, finally, and I promise we'll get you a blanket. Am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre?
No.
No? Because the suspect seemed to think...
You're too unstable to work for my boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
Oh, that's a damning indictment on my character, but okay.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
Whew. That makes me feel better.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
Thanks, Volition. Okay, I'm ready. Clap my cheeks in irons.
Good.
She looks at you, and then at Vic Mayor.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Then off we go.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon.
Man, that's so gorgeous. I just want to make a concept album of indie folk music using all of the Shivers dialogue as lyrics. That's what I want.
You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time.
We never solved the case of the square bullet murderers. Murderer? Not sure why I pluralized it. And he's still out there. The square bullet murderer strikes again.
Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmair? Yes. Dubois? Of course.
What is the question we are answering with this? Heidelstein, no, and the rest of us, yes. What is the question?
Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Everything I do is for the people.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Yeah. Let's go to Jamrock. Just limp gently back to Jamrock now. Oh, John, you've turned it around at the last second. You're so bitter and mean, but you make an excellent crutch. Gorgeous. What a game. Feels like a small insult. Games are one of my favorite things in the entire world, and yet it feels like a small insult to call this a game, as it was so much more. Thank you all for coming along on this journey of investigation with me. Not only the investigation of murder and of muscular fictional characters, but also of the mind and of political theory. A complex and delicious cocktail this is. That ending with the revelation of the Celindian phasmid. Like, I wonder how it can go. Can you not believe enough in the phasmid for it to never appear to you? And then you would have less information about the motivations of the killer? Or would the world just change? The motivations of the killer would be different? I'm so curious about how it works with a different set of circumstances. I'm excited for potential future playthroughs. An iconic faceless detective. I'm so glad we made it to the very end without unlocking our portrait photo. We remained faceless and mirrorless throughout the experience. I don't know why that made me so happy. Just let the credits run out as we sit here and think about what we've done. The naughtiness of it all. I cannot. Oh, wow. Mr. Goodman there did quite the range. Impressive. I wonder if there's anybody from this list that I have not spoken to. Any characters I missed due to my initial choices. It's weird that in the credits there it was called the beautiful necktie instead of the horrific necktie. Is that another tie, or is there a way for me to redeem my necktie from its horrific status? Maybe it's a certain matter of communicating with it. There are so many secrets and points of interest that I'd like to explore. I think in terms of an achievement list, I've probably gotten 10 or so out of 40, 30 or 40. So it's like there's so much yet I have not seen. Despite the time we spent jamrock shuffling to every crevice. So there's brilliance and unseen descriptions hidden away yet. Very hard to exploit handicapped person. I don't think we met them. I really want to. I'm guessing that it will just ploop us back onto the main menu with no secret end credit cutscenes, but I will not touch a button for fear that we will miss a secret end credit cutscene. I'm also so glad that we had that conversation with Lieutenant Kim to bring him over to Precinct 41. I feel like we make the best team and that we should be together as long as the universe allows it. Until the Pale swallows us all. Kim and I should be partners. So I'm very glad he's considering. I know we talked to Titus Hardy too about if he wants to make his effective position as a police officer in the Union Yard and surrounding area an official thing and go ahead and join the RCM. I wonder if there's anyone else you can recruit. Like Cindy the Skull. Hey, you want to be an RCM officer? No, she would hate that. Like, it would be fun to figure out what the maximum number of recruits you can have in a single player. seem to get like a super definitive answer about the cause of our amnesia. Trant seemed to back up Lieutenant Kim's observations. It's like, you've been drinking for a long time, you've had some blackouts before, and now you really overdid it in an intentional effort to remove your memories from your head. Seems to be the answer. But I still have to wonder, due to that motorway south description, if there was anything deeper to it. Must be getting close. Thank you for your patience. I'm trying to imagine what the decision tree and mapping must look like for this game, and my brain hurts. Not sure why I made you slightly Scottish at the end there. My brain hurts. But it's true. I can't even imagine, I want to see the whole flow chart of everything. How many skill points do you need to have in this to unlock this conversation? What items do you need to have for specific things to happen? This is a game that will require a lot of future testing. I'm looking forward to every moment of it. So I will have to find another game to stream after this. I know we've got the final cut playthrough of Alan Wake 2 that we need to make. Hopefully that will be a little bit more of a speedy playthrough, if I remember how to play at this point, since I don't think we'd need to find as many collectibles and such that time through. There's probably some I've still missed. So we have that, and then I know there's DLC for Alan Wake 2 coming out soon. We're like a couple months out from the DLC of Elden Ring. So we need a couple of things to stream before we can get back to some of our big ticket items, as it were. We have options. But thank you for spending so much time in the world of Revachol with me. I have enjoyed every moment of it. New humans and stress relief. Oh, that's a cute way of saying it. Everybody at Larian Studios. That's interesting. I don't know that they had any connection with the now infamous Larian. Mankind be vigilant. Love. And we're back. I cannot wait to see what other secrets we can pry forth from the gorgeous jaws of this world. And I hope that if you ever get the chance to experience it for yourself, you find your own delicious secrets that I missed. Thank you for your time, your patience, your wit. I love you, and I will see you for the next adventure very soon. Bye for now.